You set up camp, start a fire, and settle in for the night. But then, something moves outside your tent. What's that? A wild bear, a wind whisperer, or something more sinister? Here lies the 6 most disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. In April 2019, YouTuber Jason from Appy Mountain Trekkers went on a solo overnight journey into the huge mountains. His channel, which focuses on all things outdoors, typically features peaceful hikes and serene camping experiences. However, that night, something strange disrupted the tranquility of his solitary escape. After a smooth hike, Jason reached a secluded campsite. As the sun began to set, he pitched his tent and carefully started a fire, his hands busy carving a spoon, while the mountain sun sank behind the distant peaks. In the midst of this calm routine, he heard a faint noise coming from one of the mountains, a sound he initially brushed off as just a bird or a small animal rustling about. But as darkness enveloped the landscape, the atmosphere became eerily still. Around 9 p.m., after turning off his camera to get some rest, Jason was abruptly jolted awake less than an hour later by a guttural, otherworldly sound, a noise so bizarre that he likened it to a disturbing mix of a pig's grunt and an ape's cry, reminiscent of the chilling calls of velociraptors in Jurassic Park. Though shaken, he tried to convince himself to drift back to sleep.
I've never heard anything like that in my life. It sounded like a mix between almost like a pig, some kind of, I hate to even say it, but a pig, an ape, and the calls almost sounded like how the velociraptors communicate with each other on Jurassic Park. I've never heard anything like that in my life.
Yet, as the clock ticked closer to 1 a.m., another wave of fear hit him. He woke again to a strange sound. Something or someone was circling his campsite. His flashlight caught a brief glimpse of a reflection in the bottom left corner of his view, fiery white eyes, as if a pair of wolves or coyotes were silently observing him. Despite the danger those watchful eyes suggested, Jason barely reacted, slipping back into a restless sleep. The next morning, he shared a calm recounting of the night's events with his viewer S, never fully addressing the chilling reflection that had haunted him. In a daring move to test his limits, YouTuber Mattfield decided to explore a dark, remote cave deep in Australia, a place where few would ever think to go. After hearing some chilling stories about this eerie spot, he took on the challenge, leaving behind the comforts of the outside world for a night of extreme survival. With no water to sustain him, Matt pressed forward, hoping to find a natural spring hidden within the cave's depths. After nearly 4 grueling hours of navigating through rough, desolate terrain, he finally stumbled upon the foreboding entrance. A rickety man-made ladder led down into the pitch-black abyss, urging him to divvy into the cave full of uncertainty and fear. Once he stepped inside, the mood shifted dramatically. As Matt crawled through tight spaces, it was just the faint sound of rocks shifting near the entrance, but soon he was shocked by the echo of footsteps that seemed to come from nowhere. A chilling feeling of being watched washed over him.
Oh my God. That was the sound.
By around 11 p.m., as Matt settled in for a simple dinner of baked beans, the cave morphed into a scene straight out of a horror movie. Suddenly, the heavy chain he had used to climb down began to move on its own. "Look at my arms," he recalled, his voice shaking as goosebumps prickled his skin. To make matters worse, hissing voices that sounded eerily human began to fill the cavern, amplifying his fear.
See that? Look at my arms. I got full goosebumps. It's the chains moving when I climb down the ladder. It's a big, heavy, thick chain. Wind can't move that.
Fear. Overwhelmed by fear, Matt decided to stay close to the cave's entrance until dawn, hoping for the end of this nightmare. In 2018, YouTuber John from Lost Lakes had a mind-boggling experience while camping in the backcountry of Canada. It was around 3:30 a.m. in a place so remote that not even a hint of cell phone signal could reach him. John's video kicks off in the early morning hours. With just the faint glow of his tent lighting up the darkness, he starts to feel an unsettling presence, his voice revealing the fear he's trying to mask. The wilderness, known as the Black Bear capital of the world, suddenly transforms into a stage for an unknown threat.
I started to hear this pacing sound. And 45 minutes later, it's still pacing around out there.
As the night drags on, John begins to hear a persistent sound of pacing outside his tent, a slow walk that was truly terrifying. For 45 minutes, the heavy footsteps echo around him. With each passing moment, the tension builds. His mind races with images of bears, moose, or even wild cats lurking in the shadows, ready to pounce if disturbed. Determined to stay alert, John goes over the gear he brought for protection: a hatchet, bear spray, and an air horn, the only lifelines he has in this unforgiving wilderness. Despite the unsettling noises in the cold, quiet night, John's cool and calm approach kept him safe. Although he managed to sleep through the night, that mysterious presence left him with an unresolved mystery and a reminder about how unpredictable nature can be. In February 2024, Sean, an adventurous spirit known for his peaceful solo camping trips in the hidden gems of the UK, found himself in a chilling situation that would leave him rattled. Famous for his calming videos, Sean's latest journey took a terrifying twist. After a day filled with exploration, Sean parked his van along a quiet road next to a thick patch of woods. Looking to relax for a bit, he stepped out for an evening walk. Later, as night fell, when he settled back into his van and signed off saying, "All being well, I'll see you in the morning. Good night."
I'll see you in the morning.
Good night.
But as he drifted off to sleep, something unsettling began to happen. Around 3 a.m., a sudden noise broke the silence. A car pulling up nearby, followed by the sound of footsteps circling his van.
It's just pulled up. And it sounds like they're walking around the van.
Sean's heart raced as he quietly moved to the curtains, his flashlight shaking in his grip. Outside, shadowy figures appeared for a moment before quickly retreating to their vehicle and speeding off into the darkness. The next morning, Sean's initial relief quickly turned to confusion and alarm. When he tried to open his van's door, he found it stuck. With a growing sense of dread, he forced it open, only to discover that heavy-duty zip ties had been carefully wrapped around it, keeping it shut tight. Even the back door showed signs of tampering.
My door's stuck.
Despite the frightening experience, Sean's adventurous spirit remained intact, showing his clear determination in the face of the unknown. Phil, the adventurous host of a YouTube channel, started a simple hike along a stretch of the Appalachian Trail near his Virginia home, quickly turning into a chilling experience that still haunts him. Just half an hour into his trek, the day took a dark turn. As Phil made his way along the trail, he stumbled upon pieces of trash, a strange mix of cans, plastic bits, and other debris that seemed like the remnants of a forgotten campsite. But when he closely inspected it, he noticed some eerie, almost mocking messages written on the garbage. One note ominously warned, "Hangman is coming down," while others contained bizarre, rambling phrases that hinted at something sinister going on in the woods.
Weirdness continues. What the?
Trying to shake off the creeping unease, Phil pressed forward, only to find even more creepy discoveries. As he continued, he came across additional strange notes, a side of a freshly killed duck carelessly tossed aside, yet oddly significant. The way these messages were placed between rocks made him rethink his plans. Feeling increasingly uneasy, Phil opted to ditch his original campsite. He hiked 2 miles in the opposite direction to a nearby shelter, but even here, he couldn't escape the past. Later that night, as he settled by the fire, he heard footsteps approaching, breaking the silence of the night. With no other option, Phil fled the shelter, leaving behind the mystery of those terrifying messages and the sound of wandering footsteps echoing in the darkness. On what seemed like just another day, the host of a camping YouTube channel set off to discover the hidden treasures of the UK countryside. This episode took him deep into Box Hill, an ancient, lushly wooded area located southwest of London. As dusk began to blanket the landscape, he carefully set up camp, turning his usual routine. After a long day of adventure, he cozied up in his sleeping bag, ready to drift off to the soothing sounds of nature. But as the night wore on, that peaceful silence was abruptly broken. In the dead of night, he was terrified awake by a chilling noise, a creepy sound that came through the darkness, leaving him momentarily frozen in fear. "I don't think I'm going to get much sleep tonight," he whispered, his voice thick with worry.
I don't know if they could see it or not through the tent. I don't think so. I'm leaning right up against the light, but somebody's walking around out there very close to the tent.
As the night passed on, the continuous sound became a symbol of unease, leaving him to ponder what truly lurked in the shadowy corners of Box Hill. In that moment, the great outdoors shifted from a peaceful haven into a backdrop for fear, one that would wander in the minds of the YouTuber long after the night had faded away.
Hello? Alright, I don't like this. Hello?
That's all for today, folks. If these terrifying encounters make you doubt your camping plans, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more so that more spine-chilling videos can reach you. Until then, it's a goodbye.